On the 17th of August 1977, a young Thierry Daniel Henry was born. So Thierry's family are actually of the Antillean heritage, which is a group of islands under French sovereignty in the Caribbean. So his mother Marilise and his father Antoine originally came from the Caribbean. The Marilise and Antoine thought it would be a good idea to move countries as Marilise was carrying baby Thierry. So Thierry's family moved to Les Ulis, which is a French suburb in Paris. This is where he will be living with his mother Marilise and his father Antoine in a small apartment, but the living conditions weren't the greatest, but apparently provided very good footballing facilities in the whole of the suburb. So they chose to move to France mainly because they wanted to live better lives. Knowing that this was the case, Thierry's father Antoine considered that Thierry should start up sports and invest his energy into athletics. Thierry accepted, so he went on to join the local football team CO Les Ulis, and this is where he met manager Claude Chazelle. Between the years of 1984 and 1990, Thierry went on to play for two more clubs, and this is where the year 1990 came around, and in my opinion, one of the most important years of his life. So the year is 1990. This is one of the most important years in Thierry's career because this is where he meets Monaco scout Arnold Catalano. Now Arnold Catalano was sent by Monaco to a game where Thierry was playing for a team called Viry-Châtillon. In this game, Thierry's team won 6-0 and unsurprisingly, Thierry scores all 6 goals. Yes, you heard me right, he scored all 6 goals. During that game that Arnold watched, he was so impressed with Thierry's ball skill, pace and shot and his eye for goal, he called him up to the AS Monaco Academy. But unfortunately though, he had a bit of a setback because of his poor school grades. He was made to go to the INF Clairefontaine Academy. Now if you don't know what this is basically a football academy where all French players go in France, where you basically get a career in football and where your football career pretty much starts. Players such as Hatem Ben Arfa, Olivier Giroud, Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele and all of those French players that you pretty much have heard of today all went to the INF Clairefontaine Academy and look where they are today. Kylian Mbappe is playing for PSG, Ousmane Dembele playing for Barcelona, Olivier Giroud playing for Chelsea but kind of on the bench a lot, so poor lad. And Hatem Ben Arfa thriving at Rennes in the French league. So the INF Clairefontaine Academy is based in 12 different locations in France. Now these academies are situated in popular places in France such as Dijon, Marseille, Vichy, Reims and Guadeloupe. So this academy was established in 1988 and to this day still goes on. So it's been around for 31 years now and has pretty much lived on for the whole life that Lionel Messi has been on this planet for. It's been going on for 31 years now and to this day French players can still get a career out of that academy and go on to live how Olivier Giroud did, Kylian Mbappe did, Thierry Henry and Hatem Ben Arfa. So Thierry was at the academy between the years of 1992 and 1994 and 1994 is the year where Thierry began his AS Monaco professional football career. So after the 2010 South Africa World Cup, Thierry Henry returned home to Barcelona only to hear the news that New York Red Bulls had come in with an offer to take him away from the Spanish Giants to the MLS in America. Both New York Red Bulls and Barcelona both agreed the sale of Thierry Henry to the MLS. So after almost 3 seasons at Barcelona between the years of 2007 and 2010, Thierry Henry bid adios to the Nou Camp after making 85 appearances and scoring 35 goals in those 85 games that he played for Barcelona. He bid adios to the Nou Camp and hello to the MLS. So Thierry's full debut for New York Red Bulls came in a 2-2 draw against Houston Dynamo. Thierry, in fact, got both assists for New York Red Bulls goals. What a way to start your career in the MLS. So Thierry's first goal for the New York Red Bulls came in a 2-0 win against San Jose Earthquakes on the 28th of August 2010. Also in that season, Thierry Henry won the Eastern Conference League with New York Red Bulls after finishing 1 point above Columbus Crew. However, though they did lose 3-2 on aggregate against San Jose Earthquakes in the MLS Cup playoffs in 2011. In the MLS Cup playoffs, New York Red Bulls lost 3-2 on aggregate to San Jose Earthquakes. So the next season proved to be a very disappointing season for New York City Red Bulls. They managed to finish 10th overall in their league, and they also lost in the semi-finals of the MLS Cup playoffs. On the 31st of March 2012, Thierry managed to secure his first ever hat-trick for New York City Red Bulls. This came in a 5-2 win over Montreal Impact. However, though, in the 2012-13 season, New York Red Bulls managed to win the title on the last game of the season on October 27, 2013. In that game, Thierry managed to bag 1 goal and 2 assists to win them the league title that season. On the 12th of July 2014, Thierry managed to break a record in the MLS. So the record that Thierry broke was for the most amount of assists in the MLS ever. So Thierry broke Tab Ramos' record of 37 assists in the MLS ever. On the 6th of January 2012, the King Thierry Henry, him, returned to Arsenal. This was on a 2-month loan to provide cover for Jovino and Marouane Chamakh, who'd gone off on Africa Cup of Nations duty. Thierry instantly made an impact after a 1-0 win against Leeds in the FA Cup, which Thierry actually came off the bench for and scored the winning goal. A beautiful Alex Song trademark cross into Thierry Henry, who drops his shoulder, as he always used to do, take a touch, bang, bottom right corner, the Emirates goes crazy. Seeing that goal on live TV brought so many good memories back to Arsenal fans, and me especially. Thierry actually scored more goals than that on his return to Arsenal. He scored in a 7-1 win against Blackburn Rovers, he scored the winning goal against Sunderland away, and a goal against Leeds. So, 3 goals. That was it. I thought it was more. Unfortunately though, the only downside about Thierry re-signing for Arsenal again is that he had to wear the number 12 shirt instead of the number 14 shirt, because the number 14 shirt at the time was taken by Theo Walcott, who he inherited the number 14 shirt from. If only Henry scored those goals for Arsenal in the number 14 shirt instead of the number 12 shirt, because that would have brought back so many good memories. History would have been rewritten. On the 1st of December 2014, Thierry Henry left New York Red Bulls after 4.5 years at the club. But suddenly, 15 days later, on December the 16th, 2014, Thierry Henry announced he was retiring completely from football. In his 20-plus year football career, he managed to play 790 games, and in those games that he played, he scored 360 goals and got 160 assists for the 5 clubs that he played for. Football that day said goodbye to a legend, an inspiration and a role model to everybody in the world. So what next for Thierry Henry after football retirement? He decided he would take up the role as a pundit on Sky Sports for football. Now, one of my memorable moments for Thierry as a pundit on Sky Sports before he left in 2018 was when Arsenal beat Manchester United 3-0 in 2015. And then there was news that Brendan Rodgers got sacked from Liverpool, and then he put his hand on Jamie Carragher's leg.
Brendan Rodgers has left Liverpool. Brendan Rodgers is no longer the Liverpool manager. We heard a few moments ago there was going to be a statement.
But yeah, Thierry was just an absolute joy to have on Sky Sports. Like, he was just so funny. And I believe that all the points that he made were very valid. And he was one of the best ones and wasn't actually biased towards his team, Arsenal, unlike Carragher and Souness. So Thierry lasted as a Sky Sports pundit for 3 years before he took over as Belgium assistant manager with Roberto Martinez. Now, Belgium managed to get to the semi-finals of the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. In the semi-final, they got eliminated by the World Cup champions of that year, France. So Belgium managed to finish 3rd place in that FIFA World Cup tournament. So they played England in the 3rd place playoff to see who would finish 3rd and who would finish 4th. And Belgium came out on top of that and were 2-0 winners in that game against England.